once he hears, you are God. You will abandon the issue and you will focus on that, and you're lost, and you are still fighting the same battle.
Yeah, and you never actually address it as to what is important. But a call is more than super important. But even when you're on the call, like you say, like there's just communication. What happened?
I'm just saying. Like, you're on the call, but what are you actually doing on the call?
In the actions you take out of spite.
Yeah.
I'll not forget. I was like getting annoyed with she about something when we were still dating. I was like, I don't know if this relationship will even last. So guess what I did? I deactivated my bank account in Finland because I was like, oh,
shut up. Hey guys, what's up, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I have very special guests with me and we're gonna be talking. People are even laughing. Okay.
We love it.
The energy.
No, go ahead.
Like
It's
it.
the energy now.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about everything long distance. Long distance is something that's got a pros, got a con associated with it, but we'll talk about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, our experience, because we've been in long distance for a hot minute. So I'm going to get them to introduce themselves, starting from the man to my right.
Hello guys. My name is Shay.
Nice to
You
meet
can call me where the shares you want.
Let's go.
Well, it's just the one I for it. I'm Felicia, and we are the
Moritala.
Wow. And this is my husband, guys. You don't need to introduce yourself. I'm kidding. Okay, introduce yourself.
EKY, it's a pleasure to be here once again.
Amazing. So like I said, we're going to be talking all things long distance. We're just going to have a wonderful conversation.
Let's go.
So I'm going to ask, don't cheat, bro.
I'm not cheating.
Okay.
This is not an examination.
I'm going to ask a question. You guys can either collaborate and answer, or actually no, answer it individually. Everybody's individual here. So,
But two have become one.
Exactly.
That's true.
were you always open to long distance, Shay? You know, some people think, nah, definitely not, never.
Yes, I was quite open.
Yeah?
Actually, whatever it is,
You were.
I also knew that she was going to return back at some point. So it wasn't like a no for me. So I was really open for it.
Okay.
So
Before you met Felicia, were you always open?
yes, I was.
Okay.
I had no
Okay.
undercover to it, but
Yeah.
like I was really open that whatever it is, I will take it.
Okay. Felicia?
I think I had reservations generally about long distance because I think when I was that age, when we first got together, the narrative around long distance relationships was that they didn't tend to work or last because it was just so difficult. So it wasn't a no as well, but I think I had reservations and I knew that going into a long distance relationship will require some work or some level of like understanding. Yeah. So that's why.
Yeah.
I've been quite open, to be honest.
Really?
Yes, I've always been open to the right person, though, for the right person.
Okay.
So again, like Felicia mentioned, you have reservations generally about long distance, but for me, it's always been if I meet the person and we find ourselves in that situation, then why not? You know, it's just a little barrier, not little, but
Okay.
just an obstacle. So
Well, I wasn't. I
yeah,
said no.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I never really thought about it before. I think I never saw myself in that situation because I had been in a relationship before, but it was in the same place. So to me, I just couldn't. It's not like I didn't know that I wasn't open until I met Kyoke, and he was like, and I was like, absolutely not. That was one of the reasons why. And I think subconsciously, I guess maybe looking at you guys, maybe give me hope.
Like can work.
That it can, yes, you get. But for me, then I was like, no, I know Kyoke always said this. What did you always say? that you can't see the full staircase, but we'll take it one stair at a time.
time.
Yeah. But me, I was like, I need the full staircase. I'm not moving.
When you're not God.
I'm not moving until I know, you know. And I think that's why I wanted to speak to people to vet character as well. And I remember, to make context clear, we didn't know each other beforehand per se. So, and I was going back to where I was coming from immediately. So for me, it was like, I don't even know this person. Like, you've not spent time with this person. However, I think you guys.
Yeah, our case was different. Like a few weeks before she.
But it was an intentional decision.
Yes.
It didn't happen.
Yes.
No, like you met when you were in the same place. Do you get? Like, we met on holiday.
Yeah.
But
we didn't actually interact like that.
Okay.
Like, we didn't interact frequently in the time that I was there.
Right.
For the majority of the time that I was there.
Okay.
It was literally probably in a little
very close to when she was wrapping up.
Okay.
Yeah, and because it was so close to the end, that was
a big sacrifice, though.
Yeah, it's the word sacrifice.
I appreciate you, baby.
It's a sacrifice. She like no compromise.
No. Yeah,
it was. What is it she doesn't like? Sorry, I'm trying to remember. But yeah, no. For me, it was just like, you know, because already I was. As you know this as well, I wasn't in that mindset of I want a relationship. I was quite happy. I was quite good. I was okay by myself, and I already decided that if I was to enter anything, I wanted to work and I wanted to work well. So because I realized that not realize after saying let's see how things go. I felt that the best thing to do was to make most of the time in that present moment where we had the face-to-face interaction. So I was supposed to actually, I think I finished my exams by April. So I was supposed to actually go back to the UK by then. Nothing else was keeping me really. And I even moved out of my student accommodation at the time. And then I ended up actually like letting a room from someone else who was in a shared accommodation. Remember? Oh my goodness. But ended up like subletting their room because they were away for the summer and was staying there just so we could have some time to actually get to know each other. Because we didn't have that much of an opportunity prior to that. So it's like very, very much intentional because, as I said, so many people spoke about long distance relationships like they were this, it's impossible for things to be as good as it is when you're together in person. So just to have the like basics, like who is this guy actually? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll come back to sacrifice. I think that word has come up already before even long distance came up. But sacrifice and long distance is huge next to each other. But now that you've been through long distance, would you do long distance again?
I will do long distance again. However, with the right person. Unfortunately enough, she's the right person.
Okay.
Thank God, no more long distance.
Yeah.
No more long distance.
From the beginning.
But would you do long distance in the future? Like if you had
if I to come back to life.
Relief.
No, now that you have been through, like looking back, you would do long distance again.
I would do long distance.
But knowing what long distance is, would you do it again in the future? Like
future,
like in marriage.
I would do it.
In marriage,
I would do it.
Okay.
But there has to be certain timelines.
Okay, because
there has to be a time frame.
I do feel long distance in relationships is different to long distance in marriage. That's two different type of long distance. But we'll come back to that. Would you do long distance again?
In marriage?
No. In dating. We're talking about dating.
Oh, if I was to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would. If it was with Shay, yes. Because it's not everyone that can
handle that. Yeah. Shay, would you do it? I'm guessing so. You can start with what would you do?
I say, I don't go do it again.
Really? Why not?
I think it was difficult. Yeah, it was difficult. So, I'm not sure I won't do them again.
It's the fact your picture came out for this question.
I would not.
No.
I would not attempt it anymore.
No. Yeah.
Do you mean not for the future, but if you're to go back in time?
Yeah, not for If I will go back in time, I will pray that God makes it like.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll come to now. I guess now that we're there, the struggles of long distance. Personally, I would do it again. He came to study here for a bit, so we had like a year together ish, or a couple of months. So I think you can definitely see the difference when you are together. So until we were together, I could then see that long distance there were some like it creates loopholes that if you're not careful, you might think is a norm, should I say, but it's not. I think one of the pros about long distance, which we'll get into, is that I was saying this year, it delays you from merging too quickly. It can be a good and a bad thing. What I mean by that is like, I feel like in a relationship, obviously your likes kind of begin to intertwine, your dislikes begin to intertwine, but obviously in relationships or in courting, when you're dating, I feel like obviously your goal is for two to become one, but you don't want two to become one too quickly, because I think there's still a bit of individuality that still makes you and still makes that relationship work. But if we were together, then there's certain things that you'd already start
get used to.
Yes, you start malleable, of course the word bending to kind of thing. Whether is I think because when we're together we enjoyed eating together, for example. So I always use food as an example as one of it, but things like even the type of food that you like would start to merge even before you knowing what type of food that you like versus the other person. So it gives you that individuality, still allows you to hold on to that, but also no matter in as much as there's a percentage of that that's good, it can also be taken to the other extreme where you're then thinking that you're single but you're not. So there's a certain way. So like when we're together, I think one of the struggles was because I had so much on my schedule. Now having to go and see him, I was like, this is an extra work for me, bro. Like I'm not used to you being here. Like I already built my life and my schedule without, so you're kind of being single but you're in a relationship kind of thing. But obviously you're now meeting this person in the evening or during the day, you're talking, but even if it's an extensive period of time, it's a time that I guess fits you guys both. But when you're together, somebody demands time at certain points, and you now have to make that sacrifice in person. So I think I would do it again because it helped me to still develop myself without rubbing too quickly. But at the same time, I do know that when we then came together, that still had a con in terms of you now blending better. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but so you said it was difficult. So we'll go to the difficult parts of long distance, and I guess how we can tackle that. But why do you think it's difficult?
Okay. In terms of how would I put it? The sacrifice element of relationship, where, I mean, apart from that, you want to have them close to you, you know, like touch body and, you know, all of those things. Also to be able to connect. So it's quite like difficult. Like you can miscommunicate what you actually intend. Like that miscommunication, that you have to kind of, you know, you are in the camera, you talking about the
body language.
Yeah, the body language is not, you are not connecting, you know, even with what you want to explain, what you want to, you know, show. That empathy is not like, it's virtual, it's not like, it's not real, you know. So that I know was a big challenge, that sometimes I will say something, she will get it the other way around. You get so, but I'm like, it's what I meant, babe. You get. So that was, you know, one thing that I know personally that I struggled to, you know, to get along. But of course, with time and also like, you know, coming together, like visiting each other often, also kind of helped. But that was a major thing, you know. And of course, you know, distraction here and there, you know, that you're not with the person that you truly love, and all of these people coming around is totally, you know, like so it takes the grace, you know. And then I remember when we were coming, I was like, okay, what was the thing? And I said, but I still feel like as a man, those are major things that external distraction, and for me personally, was like kind of ways to communicate. So those two are the main reason why I will not go back to it again.
Yeah. How about you, as a man? Do you agree, or do you see?
I tell you, I relate to like the miscommunication. I also relate to the distraction. There's that aspect of, you might, if you are not careful, if you don't have the right structure in place, you might get vulnerable with those distractions. Yeah. You know, and of course, when that starts happening, you would start losing touch of who you're with. Yeah. You know, it also eliminates that aspect of connection. Yeah. Because you then don't become sensitive to your person's needs. Why? Because you've opened yourself up to that distraction. That yes. And the distraction might not even be a case of you're physically intimate with these individuals or these ladies. It might be a case of you're sharing more with them because you see them more, because you're spending time with them more. You know, so that's a very
and we experienced that on my end, because like I said, I think you take you don't realize, I think it goes back to communication, which we'll come back to. It's a different level of intention that you have to have in your communication, because naturally you would lean on the people that are around you more, because obviously, like you said, you're doing things together. You probably only talk in the evening, and then you talk here and there. Exactly. So there are other people that you spend time with during the day, and if you're not careful, by the time you're talking about your day, or even if you're talking with the person throughout the day, they're just not there. So there's certain things you can't even recount. You know,
you can't. In some senses, some people can't give their best, because we always say, actually, let's not talk about certain issues when we're tired. You know, we've had a long day, or things might have been stressful, that we set aside like if somebody wants to start a conversation on a particular topic, and we feel like, wow, this thing might take a bit of time to really like go through, we'll agree to come back to it. You know, when we regularly have our like discussions and stuff, because we know, like, when your mind is just not in the right place, it's very difficult for you to present yourself as your best self, as a kind self, as a loving self to your partner, as a patient self. So I think 100% with what you're saying there, and even with what Eki said about that intimacy element. Like, even though you feel impulsively like you want to share some things, it's good sometimes to pause. Because I think I remember, like, sometimes I'll be talking to my siblings on the phone, and maybe like hears it, and then maybe if I say something to them that I've not mentioned to him yet, it's like, oh, you've not told me that yet. Do you know what I mean? And I know that's not great. Like, you want to always keep them in the loop with what's going on, how you're feeling. And things like that. So I guess that's it. You want to show them that they are your person, so you're special. Not that you can't speak to anybody else, but as you said, that danger of probably drawing closer to people in a way that you did not anticipate, because your eyes were not open. You weren't paying attention to how much access you're giving to them.
And it can naturally happen if you're not intentional. Is the intent behind it. You need dash to make long distance work. I'll give you a second. Just give me one word. You're not allowed to collaborate on the word, though.
Patience, bro.
You need patience to make long distance work.
You need a lot of patience.
You need a whole lot of
God,
patience.
But you need patience.
You need trust.
You need trust. That's a good one.
You need trust.
Communication.
Oh, I know you're gonna say that.
I think you need. When I first saw this question, I actually wanted to say money, because I feel like you have to travel to go and see the person. Like, if you don't have money and everybody,
maybe second option.
But I was actually going to say sacrifice. Yes, you need sacrifice to make long distance work. But we'll expand on each point briefly. So when you say trust, what do you mean, or what does that look like to long distance working?
I'd say, first of all, you need to trust yourself. Before you trust the other person, that what you trust yourself enough to cherish what you guys have going on, and then you're giving or you're committing yourself to believing that the person, wherever they are also doing the same thing in terms of the structures that they have in place to keep the relationship, fruitful. Because if you don't trust yourself, and of course God's grace also comes in there again, because you might see yourself falling, but it's how you pick yourself up. And that's why you should also have like accountability partners as well, because that would also help you. If you check in from time to time, this was happening, this was not happening, how can I be better in this, so that element of trust just pretty much covers quite a number of things that I think definitely help.
I think trust is such a big thing. I think when people frown upon long distance, I think trust is one of the major things, because every time I talk to someone about long distance, they're always like, how do you know your man's not cheating? And it's funny because obviously, firstly, I think for us, I've never ever thought of that. Like, it's never crossed my mind from day one. But I think you don't realize how much, I guess, trust. There's a certain level of trust, and I mean with any relationship, because it gives you peace of mind, to be honest. But if you already don't trust the person and then you go into long distance, I think that's a recipe for disaster. I
think it depends the kind of person you are as well. I think there are people who are not trusting until you show them that you're worthy of gaining their trust. And there are people that are already trusting and give people a chance unless they break that trust. So I think that's why you wouldn't really necessarily begin to think about, I need to see trust in a relationship unless somebody has given you reasons not to trust them. And I think that's probably why I didn't even think about that, as you said, because it's kind of like, and you're actually very correct. It's actually very important. But I guess for some people, it would take a lot more work to bring that forth. And it could be due to the things you've experienced and the past. And that's the thing with relationships, scars that people have carried from previous relationships. You always have to have, as I say, like, you always have to have the expectation that things can be great, in as much as you have that expectation that they might go wrong. You have to have that same level of expectation that it can be wonderful and it can be amazing, because I think a lot of people already shut themselves off and don't allow much access. I think you can protect yourself, and yes, you can begin to learn more about people, but if you are already not trusting, it's difficult for you to be able to maintain a long distance relationship. I think
and I think, like you said, I think maybe we probably trusted until there was a reason not to trust. But I also, even if that was the case, I think we probably need to look at how much percentage even the guys put in, because they probably put in effort that you're not thinking is there, but there's certain actions that they took or you have seen that is then not even giving you a reason to doubt. Did you get? So I think in as much as we say that, there's definitely a percentage on both sides, to be honest, on the male and the female side. Because I guess if you're always seeing me with guys, if I'm always seeing you with girls, and someone is always over at your house, or like even emotionally, you're even if you are trusting initially, you can waver, so I think everybody has a part to play in ensuring the other person feels safe.
Because genuinely, that's the one thing I can say that I've never had to
think twice about. And we had some questions when we first started seeing. No, I had questions because you were a videographer.
Working in certain
and like, he was always around lots of beautiful people, and I still never, I don't know what it was, like, I still just never had a reason to be like, his eyes wavering or whatever. I guess from what he said about communication, he made it a thing to always communicate to me what he's doing, keeping each other up to date and things. So you never felt like slighted, you know what I mean? Because if I don't answer the phone just one day or answer a text and we go one day without speaking, she will let me hear say what's going on. You understand? So I was always kept in the loop with everything going on. And I think also because I felt like a relationship is beyond another woman or another man. The very reason why we are connecting in the first place for me was just so, like, that was more prominent. Do you understand? So but I do agree that actually the man also does some things that you may not realize, that reassures you, that makes you feel loved, that makes you just like that just makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, understanding what are those things actually as well.
Yeah.
It's character now. Character also plays a role as well. If, for instance, I tell you I am going to be home same night, posts on Instagram, boys in the club.
Yeah.
You know,
You're there.
and I was there. You know, and I was dancing,
like
and,
bicycle.
and you had like some
The man
some
of the
ladies
party.
exactly around. So already that trust
It's
is
broken.
already
You're
broken.
chipping away at
It's
it.
chipping it. You're chipping it away. And of course, they also say like trust is not given its end.
Yeah.
You know, so that question of character comes in.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you I'm doing so and so thing, I have this meeting, whether I'm going to church or whether I have this side hustle I have to focus on, and you're seeing post on a different place, it's not giving room for, and that's already a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not giving that person over there peace of mind. They are not settled within their spirit. Each and every time they would always want to be snooping around. Oh, he has said he's doing this. What is he actually doing now? And if he's not picking, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think even beyond, like you said, as Christians, I think even beyond the, like you said, another guy or another girl, it's just pure integrity. Even like if you say you're going to work and then someone posts you and you're at church, like you get like it's not anything alarming, but it's just that what you are exactly like I can't hold your word exactly. So even as little as that makes all the difference. But I think that relates back really into communication. So what would you say when you say like you need communication to make long distance work? What does that look like?
It's not just communication. You know, it's the communication that shows you're communicating. I don't know if I can break it down. It's like when you communicate, of course we talk. That's communication.
Yes.
But making your intention clear.
Yeah.
Right? When I'm with you, okay, I say, oh, babe, let's go take a walk. The way I'm saying it shows that I'm happy. I'm like, I truly want to do it. Like that feeling is there. Like I'm talking to her and she's getting me. You understand? With all the body language, with all the expression. You understand? But sometimes when you're doing it remotely or you're doing via your phone or via, in fact, it's even worse when you don't have the video on.
It's actually worse.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when you're even doing in the video,
at least you can.
Yeah, you see, feel the ball. Even with the video, you know, so that ability to express yourself, because it's not everybody that are comfortable with this device that we're talking about. You understand? Some are even shy to come on camera and say, don't put me on. You understand? So those elements are the things that are actually not, you know, making it to be, you know, to be worth it. Like it's not helping. You understand? And it's very difficult to really express and make it known. Like, okay, babe, this is what I mean. You know, you don't have to explain. You understand? You have to explain and explain and explain. But that is what I meant by you need that. True. I don't know how you can do it. You have to just
each other's language.
I don't even know. Like you just need to be aware that your partner will not get you. It's not all the time. That your partner will get you. So
you have
try.
You need to break it down.
Be able to be patient enough that hey, na remote we do. You understand? Like we are doing it virtually, so it's important to. So it's quite very tricky, but it's still a key thing. So, but
So would we say communication in a relationship that's not distance is different from long distance?
Yes, to a certain extent, Chris.
100%.
Because in long, you have to be very intentional. The level of intentionality is more than 100%. Right? Because you're not seeing this person. You wake up in the morning, you're checking in on them. During lunchtime, the little opportunity you have, you always want to check in because you want to know what they're doing. It's not as if you might be on the call all the time, but just those little texts, like what's happening, how you doing, I'm thinking about you, I'm missing you, I'm loving you, all of those little things.
I'm loving you.
Yes, I love you.
Okay.
I'm loving you.
Yeah.
Oh, joy,
Sorry.
right? So all of those little, I'm loving on you. All of those little things.
Yeah.
Will go ahead to remind the person. If the person was probably chatting with a colleague at work, and the person was like, "Oh, you're looking beautiful today," and all of those things, and you have not said that today, or you, the person, you as a man, you have not said that to your girl, or vice versa. Oh, the shirt. Oh, by the way, you sent a picture,
You want to go to the guy.
and you and you look handsome,
Yeah.
you know, and someone at work is saying, "Ah, you look so sweet today," and you have not said it.
Oh, you have not said it for 1
Or
week.
you have not said it for 1 week.
See, when he gets a new haircut, it's like,
yeah. I know Kaka's like,
Yeah, you need to say something.
like,
Those compliments, so vice versa. So just keeping, reminding them of how special, how beautiful. It all ties under the umbrella of communication again.
yeah. And I think even the little text you're talking about, I want to make it clear that it's probably, we're talking daily here, like daily as in, what am I trying to say? Even in a relationship that is not distant, people maybe text for a whole week or a couple of days. And I think you definitely came to me with a different level of communication, because we spoke like every day. I thought every relationship spoke every day until I spoke to certain people.
They don't?
Some people don't speak every day.
What
You
are
can't
what
try
are you-
that with long distance.
What are you doing?
You cannot dare.
No.
Like maybe even
the muscles
exactly
by fiber.
even video call I think is so like is compulsory unless you really like. So obviously there are days where we couldn't speak on video if work or something took over, but that should be the minimum standard if you had time and it's your schedule, like we need to, like Jay said, I think
Me, it feels weird though.
honestly,
It feels weird though. Say, babe,
what is the video?
like,
I think
or
for
the-
her, I think for you it's like normal.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, Sha, let's just, because I'm not a text, like,
Yeah,
generally, I'm so bad. So bad
yeah.
at texting, like, or not, let me not say I'm bad at texting, it's like, I don't really
It's not your thing.
enjoy
Yeah.
texting people sitting on my phone like that. So, when we have a call and it's voice, he will change it to video.
Of
That's
course.
for sure. And then if I'm just like, he can't
It's
see
like,
me,
why
he
am I
can't
looking at the
see
ceiling?
He will make sure that it's to my face.
yeah.
And if it's like, oh, we're having this, like a more in-depth discussion about something in particular, he'll be like, sit up now, baby, because me, I'm like, I'm thinking, I'm like, no, sit up, and then I have to sit up properly, like, okay, let's go. I don't think about these things, but as we're speaking, I'm like, actually,
exactly.
those subtle things, those subtle changes that actually help.
And I think
They
for
add
me,
colour as well.
exactly. I think for me, even the little things when it comes back to communication, like not being distracted, I get distracted so easily, like because I'm always texting. So I think one thing first is understanding both of your communication styles, because I think you call a lot, and in the beginning I texted a lot. So merging that was difficult because you can't just go to complete, I guess, calling, because sometimes this person
Or
then
go
feels like
completely to
exactly,
texting.
because then I would then be texting other people,
Yeah.
or if you're all coming to texting and then you're calling other people. So I think you have to meet in the middle as to what is important, but a call is more than super important. But even when you're on the call, like you say, like
What are you doing in the call?
just communication. What happened?
I'm just saying. Like, you're on the call,
Someone is
but
guilty.
what are you actually doing on the call?
You get,
are
like
you
I'm on
focused?
Instagram and he's
Are
seeing
you
my eyes.
texting?
You
Are you
get,
keeping a
yeah,
tab
he's
on?
like, baby, you're not here, but on the call you're on the phone or you're on the laptop and your phone is next to you. So it's not that you mean to be disconnected,
Disrespectful.
but because it's another means of, I guess, communication from afar, you're able to multitask. You think you're multitasking, but this is not communication that you should be multitasking when it comes to that. Obviously there's times of conversations that is
Light.
Don't make
light,
it too much.
exactly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just
Light
not
Because
conversation.
it will come. At least we also have had like experience like that.
Yeah.
Me, I will. You say me at the.
Like
So,
3 a.m.
she was
Bro.
Are you
It's
listening?
okay.
Yeah.
It's actually
You understand?
alright.
So, but it's time to be corrected. Like,
Yeah.
hey, babe, you're
Yeah.
not here. If you are here, call me.
And
Yeah.
be corrected.
You
though.
understand? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So once we're corrected, okay, all right, sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm here now. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm here.
I have your full attention now.
Yeah. So because we can be easily distracted sometimes.
I think it's important to call it out
Yeah.
because I think, like you said, if you if you don't tell the person that actually I don't appreciate your distraction now, sometimes they don't know. Like I said, sometimes it's not intended for. And I think that's something about in any relationship, but mostly long distance, it's more difficult, I guess, to build your values together and to try and inspire the other person to be better or to change for the better. Because it now takes a lot more intention again, because I know some people get inspired by action, for example, because okay, if he's working or if he's doing anything, like he barely ever uses his phone. I'm the complete opposite. So but when I see him do that, I'm more likely to mimic what he does. But obviously you're not seeing them in their daily action or whatever. He can only do that in talking, in terms of you need to put your phone down and do this thing that you say you need to do. So even in the inspiring of change for the other person, you have to be intentional about still helping the person to be better remotely, which is a whole different ballgame. You know, trying to inspire action.
That's
exactly
the aim of every relationship now.
Like, but now you have to do it by words.
You need to continue to improve on, encourage one another, build upon that as well.
Okay, you said patience. What do you mean?
So patience.
Yes.
That was actually the first advice I got. I think I already said this to you before. I sat down to do my hair, and one of our mutual peoples found out we were in a relationship, and she was just like, all I'm gonna say is just be patient. And they actually did have experience of being in long distance relationship in marriage, it was if I'm correct. So she just said patience, and it wasn't specifically to do with long distance itself, but just to do with being in a relationship at general. Just like patience, and she just repeated that in my ear, and I was like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, why is it so deep? But actually, I think patience is that space whereby I don't want to say shortcomings, but I guess the elements of your character that may not yet be adaptable to the other person, whilst also in that space of mind of you want things to be the best they can be or to be amazing. Patience is that gap that allows you to actually think through things, that allows you to give a bit of grace even when you're not sure, that allows you to actually learn as well. Because I know for myself, patience is a big thing for me that I'm always still trying to learn. Even these days, sometimes I just want to do something, I just do it. I wanted something, I want it now. Do you know what I mean? But actually learning to just kind of pause. This person is trying to relay something to you. Be patient in how you take that in. Or perhaps they have done something. Be patient so that you address it in an appropriate way, in a loving way. Do you understand? Or perhaps you observe something, or you think there's something about their character that they need to work on. Okay, it's not just them, it's also you. But that patience allows you to also just think through, what is it, like, beyond the surface level. Patience allows you to actually ask questions instead of jumping to conclusions. Patience also allows you to understand that you're working towards a goal that might not happen tomorrow, might not happen next week. Because with long distance, sometimes you're not actually sure when exactly you will come together and be in the same place. So it was definitely like a trial in that sense, because there are times I'm like, I just want Sheyi to be around, because he just gets me, you understand? And it's like, you can't just make that happen. You can't just spend frivolously. You can't just book a flight ticket on vibes. You know what I mean? Like, you work for it. You can't just do anything anyhow. You have to have patience for things to work. And if you're always in a hurry and you want things to happen now, you want to be together in the same space now, everything now, you want them to already have achieved something now. It's a lot of pressure to add and to pour and to put on that relationship. So I think patience, as I said, is just that gap that gives you that thinking time, thinking space, that extra grace to be able to make things work. And focuses more on trying to understand your partner as well, rather than you just being understood. Because I think we have a tendency of being selfish as human beings, that we think about our own needs and interests, and it takes a lot to look beyond your own look beyond prioritizing yourself, but actually to look beyond and think about other people, and especially about somebody who also loves you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I think patience is pretty key. He has a lot
Spot
of
on.
it, by the grace of God.
Bro.
At least one person.
They built them different.
The word of God
It's the fruit
succinctly
of the
states
spirit.
that love is patient.
Yeah.
You know, I think that already gives us an overview of what it's about. Because if you're not patient, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
No.
Talk less of long distance.
Talk less of long distance.
And
When you are now in both different time zones,
bro.
it will test you.
Oh my god.
If you have no
That's
patience,
That's an extra one.
Say it to the
That's
if
camera.
you have no patience, bro.
Yeah.
And this one is just 1 or 2 hours.
Do you get? Imagine like 6
What of people that are
hours.
6-8 hours?
Canada, Nigeria, or the USA, the UK.
US, Europe.
100%. Actually, and also one other thing is the times whereby patience really begins to do its work is when things are not going
So well,
bro. As they should.
Yeah.
That's actually when you need to then take up patience as a bestie. Like, oh yeah,
Still right next to me, bro.
please don't leave me.
Let's cuddle
You
together.
understand?
Let's cuddle
That
together.
is when you just need to be extra patient.
Yeah.
I saw a post recently. It was like, what's something that takes a long time to get or to build, but a short time to destroy, to break down, and it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Even like your words, you can say one word that can actually harm your relationship. You have to be so careful in what you're allowed to come out of your mouth, in the actions you take out of spite. I'll not forget. I was like getting annoyed with she about something when we were still dating. I was like, oh, I don't know if this relationship will even last. So guess what I did? I deactivated my bank account in Finland because I was like, oh,
Shut up.
So I told him I have deactivated my bank account. I deactivated it, and you know, if I had it today, it would have been so beneficial.
Yeah.
But it's not like easy for me to go back and be like, hi, I need a bank account. You know, but it's just some of those things you just do that actually impact you as well. And you just need to chill, because you can do one thing in anger that just completely messes up. Everything. As you said, even trust, it can mess up your trust. Communication can mess up your communication. So you really just you gotta hold it.
You gotta hold it extra
tight.
Like
even during the course of pandemic, when you guys are far apart, you're not sure of when you're going to see. And you're already at the back of your mind, with this relationship, are we going to see the test of it? But you know, it's just some of those little windows, and the patient aspect just
patience also comes in different little packages, and you just need to remember the word at least, and then the expression of it, the Lord will help you. Hallelujah. Because honestly, it's a whole different ball game.
For you guys, Estonia and Aberdeen was
2 hours.
It's the same, isn't
yes.
it?
Yes.
It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
Estonia and Finland are in the same time zone.
Yeah, patience in sleeping. Oh my god. I mean, it doesn't affect me. It probably affected you more. I mean, because like what 10 a.m. I was just said 10 a.m. 10 p.m. is your 12 a.m. So you slept barely. I think you need to catch up on sleep. For the many years. Well, my gosh.
Catch up on sleep.
You know. And for me, it's sacrifice. Again, in that same line. But when I was thinking sacrifice, I was even thinking, like you said in the beginning, in the traveling, you know, even in money, like saving to buy flight tickets. I mean, thankfully, I don't know what happens to flight tickets now these days, but back then it was a bit better. It's not sacrifice that you discuss that this is what we're going to do. I mean, there are things like that you do, but this is sacrifice that you have to be willing to do and take on your own initiative as well, knowing the need of the other person. If the person is in need, you know, if the person, like I said, if the person needs to see you, or I don't know,
they're going through something,
or
something
just
some like special time,
things like that, like birthday, they don't have to tell you twice, or even simple things like I think you used to I'm kidding. Like back in the day, things like what's it called? Like buying food for the other person to deliver, or buying flowers to deliver.
Okay.
You know, like those.
Dami used to carry pepper test, when she was traveling.
Oh boy.
Pepper,
Milo.
Sardine.
I was going to boarding school to go and meet my child.
Oh my days.
But like in different, again, what I'm saying, in different scenarios, it looks different.
Yeah.
But you just have to be willing to stretch yourself, I guess. Like you said, go look beyond what is your need. And I guess in any relationship, if you're looking out for the other person, another person is genuinely looking out for you, then everybody is getting carried, as you know, and getting met.
And just being selfless too.
Yeah.
Now.
In all the areas.
Considerate, you're sensitive towards the other person's needs. So even before they ask, you're ready. Because there might be somebody around that is knocking. You know.
Yeah, sacrificing time, like you said. If there's time difference, bro, we can keep on going. But let's talk about the good things of long distance. I think it's got its good. I'll start, I guess, because we've already started the conversation. I think going back to the individuality aspect of things, it helps you manage your time better, where you can still have time to work on you without being so consumed by relationship. Like it doesn't allow the relationship to consume all of your time. I think is one of the benefits. Curbing lust. Yes, I think obviously when you're together, it was difficult, but sometimes you just have to get through maybe that 2 weeks or that 1 week or that few days, and then you go back to holding yourself in your corner. Do you get, like, I wouldn't think about it much if you're on your own. I mean, obviously you get those times, but when you're together, then it becomes a bit more difficult, amplified. Yeah, but when you're apart, it's kind of like, okay, I have time to like reset my mind, you know, kind of thing, and focus. So that was some of the, I think, the major keys for me. Any other positives? Or is that all the positives?
No, I feel like you're saying, you know, what you're saying is actually very, very important.
Yeah.
I think definitely when you're in the same place, you know, the heat
You
is
always
high.
want to
And not just even for the guy, but like for the lady as well. Even actually, because even the first time you visited me, before we even started dating, he just came by to say hi as he was driving past, and he'd already told me at that point, like, he wanted us to
be together.
To be together, and I hadn't answered yet, and it was like, he just came to visit just to say hi. And I was like, well, this person, I wonder if there's any physical. So I was actually trying to see, but like, there was nothing. It wasn't like that. Like, it was genuinely, he just wanted to connect and speak. And I think it was good for me in my mind, understanding, okay, this person wants to be in this relationship because they genuinely just love who I am, my character, and it's not about just the like physical aspect of things. And I think that was very important to be assured of that. Because some people feel like some people question the real reason why perhaps somebody wants something with them or to have a relationship with them. And the element of lust, I think that's just it. That one is a strong, powerful. It has a strong, powerful hold, but you have to have an idea of. You have to be on the same page when it comes to these things. You have to. Yeah, you just have to agree. Like, what page are you on? Yeah. What's the agreement? Otherwise, it's like, especially with the communication aspect, one person thinks you're going this way, another person thinks you're going this way. You always have to bring yourselves back together. Like, where do we stand on certain issues and certain things? Should I say other positives? Or
I mean, if you have any other, that is actually.
I think it's one thing for me that's really beautiful has been just having unity. Because really, largely, is the main reason why I would travel back. Of course, I have loved ones and friends, but I feel like that relationship as well was able to develop because of the time that I spent also going to see him or going to visit him. And because we had friends and friendships that observed both of us, and we had that time to spend with them, I think that helped us as well to be guided on our journey as well. Also seeing friends who have maybe experienced long distance as well, and having just general conversations with them, and just having that access to some of our, like, each other's networks and things, and friends and family, just from our visitations, that was good.
Yeah.
Without being overbearing.
Yeah.
Because we're not in the same place all the time together. So there's certain things that people will not really say to you, or they might say, but you can just brush it off because they will see you today, they won't see you for another 6 months. So I'll survive. You know. So I think that's it. It's not overbearing. Like you're able to choose on your own terms how much you want to get to know other people. You guys want to invite into that space and relationship. Unlike, let's say, you go to the same church and everything. That's a different
it's a different ball game. And of course, like you said, I think when you see that in when you get married, like your wedding day, you see that obviously maybe when you have children, that you just, I guess, you have such a wider
audience
circle, of people that love you, because you're pulling from both sides, you know. Any other positives, guys?
You're forced to communicate.
Forced
to communicate in that way that you intentionally get to know this person. Because what else would you be doing? You're just speaking. And you're speaking.
Bro, only talk. When I said date tonight, there's no date. The date tonight is talking.
You will find out a lot about them. As opposed to, when you're in the same space, and then the physical can easily be cloud. Even when it comes to sensitive issues, once you just you are God, you will abandon the issue and you will focus on that, and you're lost, and you are still fighting the same battle.
And you never actually address it
exactly
till it becomes an issue,
a bigger problem. But when you are apart, you intentionally will solve or sort out whatever is, intending to cause that sort of chaos between both persons.
Does distract. It is distracting, 100%. I think when you begin to have some level of physical intimacy, because like your ability to think logically or for you to make decisions, it's different. Do you understand?
You look beyond.
You're able to look beyond that, definitely. I think that's been important. You become a problem solver. I don't know about you guys, but
of course, you're thinking outside the box.
You voluntarily start problem solving.
I think I will come in at that point, because also to buttress to what Eki said, like, it helps you to be creative.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
It brings out, because, for example, birthday is coming.
Or Valentine has passed.
I have to store automatic reminder. You understand? You all those things. It helps you to be very creative. And also it helps you to build. As you also said in there, that you're able to give room for growth. That individual growth. You're able to work on things that you want to work on. Personal stuff that you want to change. You want to build on. It helps you also to give you space, room to do that. And also, like, it helps you to collaborate. That spirit of collaboration will descend on you when you are in long distance relationship. Because it's gonna be needed. You understand?
Absolutely.
If you are not serious, if you are not someone that personally, I think Yoke also said that you need to be trust. You need to, if you don't trust yourself, if you cannot say, okay, yes, I won't do this, or this is what I want to do, and then you stick to it. Don't come near. Don't go into it, because then you're easily distracted. You're
wasting your time. You're wasting the other person's
time. So it's not for the weak. It's not for that is what I would say. Also too hard.
How long did you guys do long distance for?
Well, it officially, legally, on paper, ended in April. So that's like 6 plus 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
We're what? 5? 4, 5?
For say 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, by the grace of God, we are married now. But the purpose of this, we're not. So this is not in marriage. I think marriage is a different ball game. And they're different sets that, because obviously now sex is in the picture and it's different from when you're at work. You're trying to abstain. So we're talking more about having experience in dating for long distance for such a long period of time, and being able to, I guess, come out on the other end and just show that it can be beautiful. It has its challenges, like we've spoken about, but there's still beauty in it if you find the right person. I believe it's beyond worth it to work on that relationship, and rather than just shutting it out because it's long distance when the right person is there.
I'm of the opinion that if something is beautiful, if you meet someone that is beautiful inside and outwards, and you trust and you have the leading within, you have the conviction within your heart, I do strongly believe that you should go for it. And again, just having God at the center too would help you go through those challenging times.
Even in all that we're saying, I'll be honest, if you had a chance to choose long distance or to be present with the person, I would probably still choose to be present with the person. I do think some things maybe take longer than it might take in person. And so what I would say is, for anyone who's considering entering into a long distance relationship, I think you have to be confident as to why you're actually entering into that relationship in the first place. Because part of what sustains it is that there is some level of confidence in the choice or in the decision to pursue that relationship in the first place. So if you're pursuing someone, please, unless you know you're ready to put in the work, don't, as they said, don't waste your time. And I don't even want to see it as work as well, but unless you're actually ready to open up yourself, actually, is what I would say, to open up yourself to that process of learning, relearning, and having better understanding and being selfless. If you're not ready for that journey and you feel like there's a lot you are focusing on for yourself, for you, please don't enter into it and want to be in a relationship but want to be single, basically. So as Eki said, you really just have to be committed in order to make it work, in order to make it beautiful. And as already said, like patience, communication, taking that effort to spend time together. And I'll actually just touch on one more thing that Dami and Eki were speaking about when they would have the phone calls, and it's like, are you here with me? Are you listening? Is that idea of actually being present. I think sometimes we do get comfortable, and it is okay to get comfortable, but sometimes we're there but we're not present. So you really have to make sure that you're not just there, but you're actually present with that person, with your loved one. And there'll be days whereby you just have maybe the phone in the background and you're just doing what you need to do. That's normal, that's fine. But we're just saying that shouldn't be what you do all the time, because you do need to speak, you do need to talk. That's how you get to know each other better. That's how you're going to learn, and that's how you're going to hash out challenges and move past them. That's how you're going to build trust. That's how you're going to learn. It's by actually that constant sharing of knowledge, of experiences. How was your day? How my day was okay. It was fine. It was actually really great today. Do you know what I mean? Like, just constantly letting each other know. And this is coming from someone who really is not a fan of texting. It does take work. And I'll actually say that the one thing that helped me to know that this relationship, like, this man is for me, is that normally when I first get to know people, I start texting. After a while, out of sight, out of mind. It's not necessarily intentionally, but I do struggle to keep up in that manner. Or maybe I start to notice some things have started to annoy me. It's like, I've been around you for too long. Some small irritation. I'm now seeing the areas that are... But for some reason, I didn't have that same experience. And I was just kind of like, this is weird. Normally by now, maybe I'll be tired. I'll be like, I don't really want to speak. But I still want to. I still want to engage. Like, I still want to know them. I still want to spend more time, Like, it's like, wow, oh, so I'm not actually tired of you. By the grace of God, I'll never get tired of you. You know? So just observe also the positives in the relationship, the pros. It's easy to focus on things that are not going well in long distance relationships. But please just focus as well on the good things and be fair. You know, be fair with them. Be fair with your partner. Give them time. Communicate with them. Give them feedback as well. But don't ever chip away at their self-esteem. Don't chip away at their... Just because they love you and they're vulnerable with you, don't take advantage of that. Don't take that for granted. It's all the same things as in any relationship, really. The part of our long distance is just your manner of communication looks a bit different, and also you need to take a few extra steps to be in the same vicinity. But and all in all, you need God.
Just to add a little to what you just said, have a plan as to when it will end. It's not forever. Have a definite plan on when this will end, because that again gives some level of assurance that we're not going to be apart for the rest of our lives, because that's ultimately is not the goal. You don't want to be with someone where you can't even see them, spend time with them. You know, you either which way, either of the spectrum that you are currently on, just have a plan on when that will end.
Both people having that vision that we are trying to be together, not that one person is trying to come, another person is trying to move. You get what I mean? Obviously, opportunities but that's part of the sacrifice. Opportunities might call you to different places, but you have to have that there should be an end in sight. There might not be a definite plan, but there has to be an agreement that if there's an opportunity, we're going to analyze it and see if it's something that we can take so that we can end this, because it's not the best, really, because there is a lot more benefits to being in person.
I think I'm on the side of Eki, though. If you see that, if you feel the true love for the person, and you have the chance to choose long distance, I would say yes. Because it's not the end of the world. You scale through with the help of some tips that we have probably given today. You understand? The person should survive. So that's what I would have to.
Amazing. Here's to a brighter future by God's grace. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like we said, we hope that this encouraged, this inspired, this allowed you to, I don't know, just survive long distance if you're in it. Yes, it's not all gloomy, but also if you're considering it strongly for that person that you believe is worth it, then
I think
go for it. But yes, until next time, see you guys.
Don't forget to subscribe, like,
share.
Now that they are one, can you see he's the one out doing it for her?
And comment.
Comment your thoughts about it.
Comment your thoughts.
What do you think?
Have you been in long distance?
Would
you go in long distance? Are you team text? Are you team
calls?
calling? Let us know.
Team
Until
letters.
Next time. Bye.